Well, that was nice because it was particularly because it was written by Mark, and he approached me about a year ago and said he was doing this thing and would I be interested. And I jumped down his throat. I said, yes, please. You say when. It's not like an impersonation in the sense that you capture every mannerism. I did watch a lot of episodes and a lot of his earlier films as well to acquaint myself with him, but as you say, it's the essence and the spirit of the man more than an accurate kind of dead impersonation. I respected him as an actor as well as Doctor Who. I'd seen him in Brighton Rock and This Sporting Life and Carry On Sergeant, so he was one of those great British character actors, and I think when Doctor Who came along, I think he was initially reluctant, as you see in Mark's beautifully written script, about how he was reluctant to be involved in something like children's television. I think he was initially horrified at the thought that he was a British character actor who'd done all these movies and had great reviews for them. I don't think he was reluctant to actually do it, but once he started, he realised that the potential for him to have some fun and to expand the character with all the eccentricity and humour that's there. The responsibility you have, because he has living relatives now, and you want to do justice to the man, and yet at the same time you don't want to make it in any way sentimental or soften it in any way. And I think what Mark has written brings out beautifully all the contradictions in him, and he could be difficult at times, but he began to suffer from an illness called arteriosclerosis, which affected the blood flow to the brain and affected his memory. And he set such a high standard for himself, and he was very demanding on. He expected the best from everybody around him, but no less for himself. And when he couldn't reach those standards by forgetting his lines, I think it made him occasionally very difficult to be around, and I can kind of empathise with that. Yes, on and off. I mean, I haven't caught every Doctor over the years, because if you're working on, and it kind of all started when I was living up in York, my hometown, and I remember seeing the early episodes and being captivated by the Daleks like everyone else was, and we all went around as younger, just doing the extermination voice. I watched it quite a bit when Patrick Troughton played it. Then I got to work with him on another series called The Family at War for Granada, and then my oldest mate from drama school was living with Louise Jameson, who played Princess Leela, and later the fourth Doctor, I think he was, wasn't he? And so we watched her and Tom quite a lot because my friendship with Louise, and so I've kind of kept in touch with it. But I've in the last few years I haven't seen so much. But I've managed to catch up with a lot of Max, and for me he captures that kind of intense curiosity of the Doctor and his quirky sense of humour and his eccentricity, and I think he's my favourite Doctor. That's not because he's probably just round the corner wondering. Well, it's been amazing. I was totally unprepared for it. I knew I had such a good time doing it because I'd done series 1 as well, so it was nice to go back because I was kind of familiar with the character, and it was so well written, so ruthless, and for me it was quite funny as well. I don't mean in a sick kind of way, but I love the way that Walder Frey relishes what he does. There's no shame, there's no guilt, there's no conscience or anything. It's total vendetta, almost Sicilian in its and I just love playing him.